14 kilometers into my first half marathon, I started to crash and was finding the remaining parts of the half marathon incredibly difficult. So here are a few of my mistakes that I hope you can learn from for your first or whatever number of half marathons. Back in September 2025, I took on my first half marathon. Having done many 10Ks and 5Ks before, I thought it was finally time to take on the half marathon distance. I'd also signed up for the London Marathon for 2026, so I thought I'd best start doing some more endurance running. It was a challenging experience, especially as I said, in the 14 kilometer mark. And the first mistake that I made was approaching it like a 10K. If you've done a 10K or haven't done one before, you often find that you're going to be sort of overtaking people because of their pacing. And if you're going to an open event that is going to have people doing it for charities that aren't necessarily training as often as you are, you will find that you are regularly overtaking people, and at some point you're going to hit a point where you're just at your pace, and you will find other people that have set off a bit too quick, and then you're going to start overtaking them. Having this approach for a half marathon was a massive mistake. Looking at our stats, we were running sub 5 minute kilometers, and I, as I was running with my guide runner, I was the one that was starting to crash at the 14 kilometer mark. So having the approach that you keep to your pacing, for which I think we should have been running at about 5:10 or 5:20 per kilometer, is essential in you not crashing out with 7 kilometers to go. My second mistake was fueling. I had spoken to a few friends that had run half marathons before. One guy saying that you don't need any fuel, just grab something along the way. Others saying no, make sure that you've got them. Going with my ego and even my guide runner, even with his thoughts on it, we didn't take anything with us, and so we were reliant on the gels, water and electrolyte squash that was giving out during the race. And this was a massive mistake, really. Having run further distances now than half marathons, fueling at the appropriate time that you feel is best or that you can work with has made things much easier running over 21 kilometers in preparation for a marathon. So whether it's using some gels or having a Lucozade in a slightly more efficient way, that's a pouch, or using electrolyte tablets in your water, having the control over your energy and when you're going to have them is crucial. I often take it around about 30 to 40 minutes, and then from then I sort of keep to that sort of time, trying not to feel fatigued, as that normally indicates that I've timed it poorly. I did it for one of my runs for the marathon. I was doing 26 kilometers, and I think I took one about 8 kilometers, but I probably should have taken it at 7. Just that small change would have probably made a bit of difference, and I wouldn't have had a bit of the energy lull that I experienced. So have control, find what fuel works for you, whether that is something like Lucozades, energy tabs, gels. Find out what works before the race, ideally, just in case some of them mess up your system, and this should put you in good stead for your half. The third mistake linked to having the fuel is actually wearing something appropriate that can carry all of the fueling systems that you're accessing. I've now invested in a running vest which is able to hold my phone. It has water pouches that I'm filling either with Lucozade or with electrolyte water, and then I can keep the gels in as well. And it also meant that I could keep a couple of spares for my guide runner, as he has yet to invest in a running vest. So I'm a bit like the gel mule for us at the moment. But having this flexibility, having the access to it, and not having to be faffing around with it in your pockets, and having it close to you and within like arm's reach is essential. And again, just limits the challenge, and it's one less thing to worry about, especially if you're pushing for a fast half marathon, or even if you're not, just being comfortable and knowing that you've got everything to hand is vital. My fourth mistake was not training enough. I had spent 4 weeks out of the summer away visiting my wife's family, so I didn't have the facilities or an appropriate guide runner to take me out on any long distance runs. So when I came back with about 4 weeks to go until the half marathon, I just wasn't in a position to take it on as well as I had wanted to. So making sure that you have an appropriate training block, actually dedicating the time and being realistic in what you can do. I am happy that I completed it. I'm disappointed that I had to walk at one point during it, but if I was to take on another half marathon, it's making sure that I've got the time to put in the long distance runs, the more faster pace track work, and be able to actually show and demonstrate what I can do. My fifth and final mistake was training too close to the half marathon. I think because I had not had a good training block, I had sort of panicked and was trying to get as much running in as possible within the 4 weeks leading up to the half marathon, and I think I may have trained on about the Thursday with it coming up on the Sunday. And although nowadays I'd probably be able to recover from that, having done much bigger distances, only I think running about 14 or 15 kilometers on the Wednesday or Thursday before was not ideal in the build up for the Sunday. So make sure to taper, so that's reducing your training, reducing the load as you're getting towards the competition or the event that you're working towards, and allow yourself to have that rest time and get yourself ready for it, and sort of make your life as stressful or as unstressful as possible. As well as doing the run, I'd also had a cricket training camp on the Saturday before it, so I was running around like crazy, obviously playing lots of cricket, being out in the field in some very hot weather, which is surprising for September. And yeah, this had the detrimental effect for the Sunday. I just didn't have the fuel that I needed. I made sure to eat the right things on the Saturday night, to make sure to have carbohydrates. So I think it was pasta I probably had. And then on the Sunday morning, I had overnight oats, which I think helped at the start, obviously for the first 14 kilometers, but after that, that's where it all started to crumble. So make sure to taper your training, take it seriously, make sure to not have any other commitments around it, especially for your first half marathon anyway. Once you've taken on that distance and gone on further and started training for other things, then you might have more capacity and more flexibility around the amount of load you're putting in to a training week. So good luck, and I hope you don't crash at 14k, because it will really piss you off.